Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So 49-year-old Utah resident and Army veteran Justin Adams traveled to D.C. with two friends. And as they were getting ready to leave Utah, Adams posted a photo of the three of them online. And he wrote, quote, starting the road trip and, quote, driving out to D.C. to smack a couple politicians around, maybe. On January 6th, Adams was seen on video walking toward a line of officers. He had his hands raised above his head as if to say, you know, I'm not armed, I mean no harm, but yet he walked directly into the police line, like he pushed into them, against them with his body. So the officers pushed back against Adams. They pushed him back several feet. And then Adams turned around and charged at the police line. So he started hitting one of them, and he struck the officer twice. He hit him with his hands. He hit the officer once in the face mask, and then the second one, he was able to land a blow under the mask. He hit the officer in the face. So other officers, of course, jumped in. They pushed Adams back again, and then Adams started screaming at them, quote, push me again, push me again. So he was so out of control that other members of the mob actually tried to hold him back. Well, at that point, Adams he sat down for a few minutes. Then he went over, he picked up a pair of handcuffs that one officer had dropped. He handed them to an officer and he told another cop that was standing there, you guys should get to higher ground. Several minutes later, though, he was right back to the violence. Adams moved to the end of that police line, and he was seen on video. He was trying to disconnect the bike rack barricades that the police were using to protect themselves and to keep the mob back. So an officer tried to stop Adams. He then threw a water bottle at the police officer. And then Adams grabbed the barricade with both hands, and he started pulling it away from the police line. So another member of the mob at that point stepped in. That person helped Adams, and the two of them dragged the barricade away. So they carried it back into the mob, and they just disappeared with it. According to the government, because of what Adams did, because he left that gap in the barricades, it gave the mob an opportunity to surge forward, and that police line collapsed shortly after what he did, after he stole that barricade. So police leadership at that point was forced to call for a general retreat. Following the Capitol attack, Adams wrote online, quote, we safely made it out of Washington, D.C. before the lockdown and before the gunfire of the Capitol Police. Got a little roughed up, but the politicians are no longer meeting the standards we the people require our elected officials to meet. Great times are coming, but difficulty will be required before. So Adams was arrested on October 19th of 2022, and he was charged with civil disorder, assaulting officers, entering a restricted building or grounds, disorderly conduct in a restricted building or grounds, and physical violence in a restricted building or grounds. Adams was charged with an additional count of assault in the state of Utah for an incident that occurred during his arrest for this case. So what happened, or what they say happened, was that when the U.S. Marshals and the FBI agents went to Adams' home to arrest him, they claimed that he tried to slam the door in their faces. Then he ran, and they said he resisted arrest. They also alleged that he elbowed an agent in the face, and it went before a jury. The jury acquitted Adams of this state assault charge in June of 2023, but, you know, it's Utah, so... you know, all those honest, quote unquote, Christians and Mormons in Utah who support the biggest liar, cheater, and thief for president. And they wonder why church attendance has plummeted. Anywho, in August of 2023, Adams pleaded guilty to assaulting officers at the Capitol. So he faced up to 8 years in prison, 3 years of probation, and $250,000 in fines. However, since Adams has no criminal history, the federal sentencing guidelines showed a recommended sentence of between 24 and 30 months in prison. Now, unfortunately, the government sentencing memo for Adams still isn't available, so I'm not sure what the prosecutor requested, but it's usually in the middle of that or towards the low end if there's no criminal history. I'm gonna assume it's at the low end. Adams' attorney requested a sentence of time served, plus they said probation. So that would be approximately 8 months. And Adams' attorney argued that his client's behavior was out of character for Adams, but evidently what he said is Adams suffered a traumatic brain injury. This happened several decades ago, and apparently he's had many seizures ever since that injury. But in 2018, Adams started to experience grand mal seizures. And they said that along with that, he suffered severe depression, and he claims that it was a combination of those things, plus the isolation from COVID, a steady diet of online conspiracy theories. And he says that's what caused Adams to go to the Capitol and what caused him to become violent. I don't know. U.S. District Judge James Boasberg presided over Adams' case, and I couldn't locate any details about what was said in court, but Adams was sentenced to 17 months in prison, 1 year of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. I assume he's going to receive credit for time served, so he's already got 8 months under his belt. That means he's going to be eligible for early release very soon and be out in time for the next election. So, yay. Yeah, I guess we'll find out how sincere he is about his remorse, right? All right. Anyway, little weak, kind of surprised from this judge. He's typically much tougher than this, but I don't know. Maybe his background made some sense to the judge. Like I said, I couldn't see any of that because it hasn't been released publicly yet, but I'll let you know if I hear any more. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you possibly can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.